You're still watching the Midday News right here on Voice of the People Television. We'll go straight to the analysis segment of the news. And joining us now to make sense of these stories and more in the studio with us is Barrister Darlington Agumore. Barrister Darlington is a legal practitioner right here in Nigeria and also a public and political affairs analyst and commentator. Barrister, a very good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon, David. How are you?
I'm fine, very well, thank you. How are you doing as well?
I'm okay.
All right, then. Joining us also virtually is Eugene Osigwe, a public and political affairs analyst and commentator as well. Mr. Eugene Osigwe, very good afternoon to you and welcome to the analysis segment of the Midday News.
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to be with you this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you so very much for joining the conversation. Well, let me start off with you, Mr. Eugene. Interestingly, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, had said that collection of permanent voter cards across the Federal Capital Territory ahead of the February 22nd area council election is underway. And they've said about 128,000 PVCs will be handed directly to the owners and not by proxy. What do you make of this situation, particularly on INEC's readiness for elections in the FCT? I'm talking about the ahead of the elections, the FCT council elections in the FCT.
Well, thank you for your question. If you look at INEC, this PVC issue is a recurring decimal. It appears that when election is very close, they come up with this announcement of a PVC available to registered voters. But what I don't understand is why we have to make a big deal of it. Because this is the entitlement of every Nigerian who is qualified to vote, right, to walk into any INEC office and have his PVC registered. So, like the past experiences we've had, I hope this one will be different. But although, fingers crossed, let's see how they're able to manage this under the new leadership of the INEC chairman. But subsequently, we know what the story is. The process is made so difficult to disenfranchise genuine voters. Let's hope that this one will be different.
Well, that has been the concern of genuine voters across Nigeria, and the FCT is not an exception in all of this. But again, I still want to stay with you on this same situation. You did say earlier, why do we want to make a fuss out of all of this? But interestingly, as it stands, 128,000 Nigerians are yet to collect their PVCs for an election that is in less than a few days from now. Again, the busy part of Nigerians on first election of the year. And of course, to think that the year started and people are going all about their business, not even thinking of wanting to go collect their PVCs. Is that a possibility that some Nigerians might be disenfranchised as a result of not getting their PVCs, even though INEC has said PVCs will be handed over to the direct owners directly? Can you take that one?
When you look at the logistics for this thing and the bureaucratic process, I don't see what is new, what will happen differently from past experiences. Commuting is becoming increasingly difficult because of a high cost of movement,
right? And
going to INEC offices to go and pick your registration requires some effort and some funding reasonably. So there will be some degree of disenfranchisement, and given the voters' attitude towards the behavior of political parties these days, that you will now have almost one political party in the country. So I don't see the motivation of somebody now wanting to say, let me stress myself, take time off to go and get a my voter's card, when people are already saying that the outcome of the result is already known. So why need to vote? So they have to do more than this announcement. They have to find a way of convincing Nigerians that there is need for them to get their PVC, and then the election will indeed be what Nigerians will expect.
All right, then.
But it will be a tall order trying to convince Nigeria at this stage.
Quite a major statement you've made there. Let's bring this conversation to the studio. Barrister, just a couple of seconds ago, you did hear Mr. Eugene say it would be a tall order trying to convince Nigerians at this stage, because Nigerians are still trying to grapple with what they would, eat and fend for their families for. And then you're talking PVC, and then you're talking election come February the 11th. From your position, Barrister, FCT INEC has said, look, 128,000 PVCs are with us, and we will see how best we can give it to Nigerians directly. Should we celebrate the fact that INEC is saying PVCs are ready for collection? Nigerians, come get your PVC. Let your votes count come February the 21st in the FCT.
The ball is now in the court of the owners of those PVC. They are now calling you to come and collect it so that you can vote. The ball is now in their court. Let them go and collect their PVC, because that is the beginning of a credible election. You need to vote to know whether the election is credible or not. So you go and collect your PVC. They are beckoning on you now. It's just for you to go and collect. If you now go there and they did not give you, please let us know. Raise it up. Go to the media and talk about it. If you go there and they didn't give you your PVC, then raise the alarm so that we know whom to call out. But you must have your PVC for you to vote.
All right, the Barrister, how much of voter education do Nigerians truly need at this time? Owing to the fact that the last general election, according to some young Nigerians, was a disappointment to them, and they do not believe in the system anymore. How much of voter education does Nigerians need at this point to be able to regain their confidence, to wanting to truly cast their vote and believe that their vote is going to count at the very end?
Now, INEC need to reassure Nigeria, because a new sheriff is in town in INEC. The new INEC chairman, the Professor Joe Shabi.
Yes.
Good. We need to give him a benefit of doubt here, when he gave us all the assurances and all that. So it is now time to test his will and the statement he made to us. That is the only way we can now say, okay, I think things are beginning to change. But as for rigging and the flawed election, it must come to an end one way or the other. That's the truth. By the time the Western world start rejecting leaders who came into office through election rigging, through flawed election and all that, they will sit up.
Now, Barrister, as regard testing his will and his promises made, and I'm talking on the part of the chairman of INEC now, the new sheriff, like you did call him, would his words stand for anything when there is no seemingly electoral reform as concerning the laws guiding our elections, not only on the part of beavers working, and of course having a law stating that, look, if this is not going to work, elections would not be recognized to this level. Electoral reforms is what I'm talking about right now. Should his words really mean something really strong for Nigerians to hold on to, as against what should be law that Nigerians should hold on to?
I don't see why the INEC chairman should fail. I don't see why, because all the T's have been crossed, all the I's have been dotted. They are released over ₦1 trillion for him. So what is the problem? There's no need for him to fail here. And that's the truth, because what happened the last time, Nigerians are still grappling with it. So I wouldn't want Nigerians to vent their anger on this INEC chairman because of what the former INEC chairman did. And so he must be very, very careful. This is the test of his willpower to do the right thing. He must be very, very careful, because they have stretched Nigerians' patience to the extreme. That patience should not burst out on him. That's what I'm saying here.
All right, then. Let's bring it to a particular point that is your forte, Barrister. Interestingly, ruling from the Federal High Court in Abuja has just been confirmed as Justice Peter Lifu has affirmed the Nadi Usman-led caretaker committee as the valid leadership of the Labour Party, and of course ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission to recognize them. Barrister, looking at this particular ruling, what do you make of this going into elections, general elections basically, with the Labour Party?
It is the right thing to do because the Supreme Court have earlier made pronouncement on the same leadership tussle in Labour Party, where they disowned Abure.
Yes.
Good. So this particular ruling now is a validation of what has already been said. And the good thing here is that it now gives P2B. P2B have now a choice to make. If they cannot accept him in ADC, he can still go back to the party that made him and the party he made. That's the truth. Because Dati Ahmed is saying that P2B is welcome if he can come back. He said it. So with this ruling now, the course is clear. That is just the truth. That is, if P2B cannot be accepted in ADC, he has a place they are beckoning on him to come. That's the advantage here.
All right, then. Let's take this conversation to Mr. Eugene. Again, like I mentioned earlier, this ruling by the Federal High Court as concerning the leadership of the Labour Party, do you think this will bring to an end, total end, the internal rancor within the Labour Party? And then what do you think might just be the way forward for the party that gained serious limelight in the 2023 general election? Mr. Eugene, are you there?
Yes, I said the most difficult thing for you to predict is how a human being is going to behave the next minute. Yes, the court has given their ruling. The one section is jubilating that they are ruling. The position has been confirmed as the true leadership of the party. But again, the dynamics of how the human nuances is going to play out on the long run is yet to be foreseen.
Okay.
So let's hope, as Mr. Darlington has said, that the Labour Party will put its house in order and be able to at least support the candidate whom actually made the party. It's not the party that actually made the past presidential candidate of the party, and support him and give him their support all the way if they are convinced that he is the right person to be there. So the factor we should be wary of is the nuances of the human behavior in any circumstances. That cannot be foretold in advance.
Okay, now you just spoke about the nuances, and then the question that comes to mind is, would the Labour Party choose, should the ADC decide to have Peter Obi as the presidential candidate? Now, we're just talking off the book now. Would the Labour Party decide to have to join this coalition to becoming stronger as against what every other person is envisaging as well?
Well, I think the confirmed leadership of the Labour Party is in full support of Peter Obi's candidacy of the party, his leadership of the party. Then now he has moved with to ADC. If ADC gives him the platform to run, I think the right thing to do is for Labour Party to support.
Let's move to entertainment. Nigerian celebrity chef Hilda Bassi has reached another major milestone as Guinness World Records officially confirmed her as a 3-time record holder. The chef shared the news on Instagram, revealing that Guinness World Records recently informed her that she had set 2 records running her jollof rice cookout. While she initially believed she only broke the record for the largest serving of Nigerian-style jollof rice, Guinness later confirmed the same meal also set a new record for the largest serving of rice overall. Combined with her earlier record for the longest cooking marathon, the achievement makes Hilda a triple Guinness World Record holder, an honor she described as both shocking and heart woman. And with that particular story, we've come to the end of the midday news right here on Voice of the People Television. Do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel. On YouTube, we're at Voice of the People TV, and on all other social media platforms, we are at VOP TV Live. Thank you so very much for being a part of this broadcast. I am David Edwin. Do have a good afternoon.